What's poppin', y'all? It's your man DJ Steph Floss here with episode 4 of Friends of the Program. Yes, Friends of the Program, episode 4, featuring my good friend Anna, aka A to the BED, Toronto's own, an amazing friend of mine, an amazing creative. She's a creative consultant, writer, digital creator, stylist, sneaker enthusiast, just to name a few. I'm gonna, let her tell you guys more about it. So my first episode of Friends of the Program, I did that on a Skype call. My second one was live. My third one was in a live setting, Soho House. And this one is again on a Skype call. So we're going to see if this works right now because Anna is not in Cleveland with me. She is currently in Toronto, which I will be up there very soon. But let me give her a call and make sure I'm using this thing right. And hopefully I paid the right subscription to get this happening. So hold on one second, y'all. Oh, that's kind of loud, right? I told you I was calling. What took you so long to answer the phone?
Oh, I was putting my headphones in and my nails are too long.
Okay, so is everything set? Because we're recording and we're live right now. Are you good? Is everything good?
Yeah.
All right, so
All good.
What? You good? All good?
Yeah.
All right, so once again, everybody, it's episode 4 of my Friends of the Program podcast with my good friend Anna, A to the BED. Anna, you know what's crazy? As long as we've been friends and as much as I love you, I still don't know how to pronounce your last name. So, what is it?
Nobody does. It's Bediones. So just pronounce every single letter.
Bediones? Hold on, am I saying it right? Bediones.
Yeah.
What's your ethnicity again?
Filipino.
Okay, all right. For you to be like a really, really good friend of mine, there's some key points that I really didn't know about you, and that's very, very sad. So, Bediones, am I saying it with the proper pronunciation?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, cool. How was your day today?
My day was good. I'm just now reflecting on us being best friends and you don't know my last name.
No, that's crazy. Guess what? I bet you don't know my government last name.
Williams.
Oh God. I'm horrible.
I'm
horrible. I'm horrible. Did you have any coffee today?
No.
No coffee
yeah,
today?
I did.
Oh, you did? All right, so before we get into all of this, because I want the world to know about my amazing friends, and in case you don't know as well, and I want to tell everybody, the reason I started this podcast is because I basically realized that I have some dope friends, amazingly dope friends across the world that do, amazing things that may not get as much recognition as some of the other friends I have. So I said, I'm going to use my, my platform, whatever that may be, and my influence, whatever that may be, to, introduce the multitudes to my friends. So that's why that's why you're on this right now. I wanted to do it for real. I wanted to do it in where were we just at together? Chicago. But you were kind of acting funny and you were a little too busy for me.
Oh, is that so?
I think so. I think that's what it was. And
is that so?
And then I was gonna wait till this weekend when I come up there for my birthday, but I said, nah, I think that might be a little pushing it. So that's why we're doing it right now. So before we get, started on getting the world to know more about you, I have some icebreaker questions that I want to know and that I want you to tell everybody else about you as well. First question: what is the best candy bar in the world?
It's not really a candy bar, but Reese's peanut butter cups.
Okay,
Does that count?
okay. That definitely counts because you know what's crazy? That's why you're my best friend, because that is my number one candy bar. It's like Reese's cup, and then if someone combats it, I'll say Snickers just because, but it's really a Reese's cup, so you got that.
Okay, so if we're talking bars, I know that this is kind of an unpopular choice, but I love Butterfingers.
Oh, you're
Like,
disgusting. Oh my God.
oh my God.
You're
We
disgusting.
have
You might as well eat a Chico stick. You ever heard of the Chico stick? They serve those up there.
no. What is that?
I don't know. It's like equivalent to poutine. We'll talk about poutine later. I can understand why you like Butterfinger now if you like poutine. That's crazy.
Those are not. There's no correlation.
You think a Butterfinger is a good candy bar?
Yes.
What do you like about it? What is it even
Oh
made
my
of?
God.
What is it? What is the material? It's like
Let me Google it. It's made of
that's
chocolate. I don't know.
it's not good. It's not, I mean, and no disrespect
It's
to Butterfinger if they
it's
come.
peanut buttery.
All right, but so it's all right, whatever. All right, but your top was
Whatever.
Reese Cup. Top five cartoons as a kid and now. I need five of them.
I'm not a TV person. Um. Oh, I wish I had time to think about this because I know I have good ones.
Give me at least two.
Okay, Bugs Bunny, Sailor Moon,
Wait, what's the second one?
uh,
Bugs Bunny and who?
Sailor Moon, Sailor Moon.
Oh, okay. All right, Salem. All right.
All right. I
Give
was
me a third one.
I was feeling.
You was about to say a third one. What is it?
Wow, why am I blanking? Mulan.
All right. Never mind. Next
Um,
question. Like never, never mind. Next question. Being that you are a Torontonian, if you had to choose between these three, if they all were playing on the same day at the same time, where would you go? Blue Jays, Maple Leafs, or Raps?
Raptors,
For sure. Is that just because
for sure.
you guys are champions now?
Been a Raptors fan, and that's basketball's the only sport I know.
And we'll get to that in a minute. But
Yeah,
congratulations.
we'll get to that. I know you have things to say.
No. Congratulations on your championship. I was, rooting for you guys. I just think you should have, gave Cleveland a little more respect to why you were there. But it doesn't matter. You guys are champions, and you're doing very well right now. So, congratulations on being the defending NBA champion. That was very good for you. I'm happy for you. East End or West End?
West End.
All right, now you have to educate me on some of that. Where's Scarborough?
Scarborough's in the east,
Scarborough's in the east.
and
Where's Brampton?
yeah, Brampton's in the northwest, but
So that's
we'll say it's west.
okay. So that's
And I'm
west.
from Saga, Mississauga.
Mississauga. That's
And that's
definitely west.
so west.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
west.
and
'Cause-
when people are saying West End, they're not even thinking that far west.
yeah, no, because that's one of my destination points when we're driving to Toronto. When I see Mississauga, I'm like we're very very close, but it's still still a ways away. Like
40 minutes.
I meet people that come out to the club and say they're going back home to Mississauga. I'm like, how does that even make sense?
Yeah, it's not bad. At night, it's half an hour.
Not the way we party. You got to move downtown. It would be ridiculous if you still stayed out there. But so
I know,
Mississauga,
because it's not even cheaper.
it's not. It's expensive out there.
Yeah.
I thought it was like the hood.
No. They're
Mississauga ain't the hood.
it has a hood, but it's not the hood.
I thought the whole city
as
of
a whole.
every
No,
part of
Sauga's like the burbs.
every part of the city. Oh man, every part of Mississauga I see seemed like the hood. Sauga City Nights. Shout out to Sauga City Nights.
No.
Oh my God, I still love it. Yeah. By the way,
Oh my God.
Party Next Door definitely put Mississauga on for sure. For sure. Need a break from Toronto. All right, last icebreaker for you. And this will make sense to everyone else shortly. What's your favorite Jordan sneaker of all time?
I have two.
You couldn't even think of three cartoons, but you got all right.
I get asked this question every single day.
Oh, you
So
do?
my favorite one is the Jordan 11 Space Jam, and my favorite one to wear is the Jordan 1 Chicago,
Okay, so
which I wore over the weekend.
right. So if you had to choose between one of those that you would wear with outfits to play in, do whatever all day, every day, which one would it be?
the Chicago, the Jordan 1.
All right. So what's your infatuation with the Space Jam?
It just, it, it illustrates my entire childhood. Like, that was my entry point into basketball, into sneakers, it was like one of the first sneakers that I bought. It was 2009. It was one of the first sneakers that I actually went out of my way to like go buy myself.
All right. So look, I'm gonna get into some sneaker talk with you because you are a sneaker giant. You are a sneaker giant. I'm gonna get into some sneaker talk with you shortly, but because you are one of my best friends, you are my best friend. I was doing some reading up on you, and I saw something that really, really bothered me. And I
Oh
have to,
no.
I no, I saw something. I read something that really bothered me, and we got to discuss this because I think you lied to them. And if you didn't lie to them, I'm gonna be very, very mad. I was reading something that said you took a childhood trip, something about some Air Max 90s. You took a trip to Cleveland 20 some years ago when you were a child. What? Yeah, you're laughing. What was that about? You've never come to Cleveland like since this has happened.
I know. I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and SeaWorld. I was
As
like 8 years old.
as many times as I've been to Toronto, as many times that we hung out in different cities, states, whatever, you've never come to Cleveland, and you tell me that you have been to Cleveland when you were a child, and that's it?
Why is that even on the internet?
What do you mean is everything? Everything is on. They said something about you loving your some Air Max 90s that you might have wore on your first trip to Cleveland when you were
I
a child.
I know the outfit too. It was like some Air Max 98s and Adidas pants and a
Oh my!
sports bra.
Can you please find a picture of you in that outfit so you can send to me so
Absolutely.
we can make that the cover of this podcast episode?
Absolutely. It's a photo of me and my brother.
Oh my
He was a
God.
little.
I love it. So everybody that's tuning in right now, me and Anna met maybe wow. Sheesh.
Like 5 or 6 years, maybe six
No,
years ago.
it's not six six
7.
6 years ago would be 2014. It's definitely like 7, 8 years ago.
Oh my
Maybe
God.
7, 8 years ago, it was Anna's birthday, and I just happened to be in a club, DJing a club, Lost and Found. We were DJing the club, and Anna was in a section in front of us, and our homegirl from New York that I was familiar with, she introduced us, but it was so funny because I remember it was like your birthday, but you were like the most anti-partying person in the club. I'm like, why? Like, why is she even here? There's even a picture of you with like 25 people. It's like all of these women, like a couple guys, and then you're just like sitting on the end of the couch, just looking
This is
like,
mad.
what do
This
you,
is mad.
what are you even doing here? So that's how me and Anna met. And we cultivated and kept our relationship for all of these years. She's an amazing person. I had the first time I've ever had coffee with her was a few months ago.
The first time you ever had
Coffee,
coffee,
period.
period, in your
Yeah,
life.
yeah. First time I ever had coffee, period, in my life was with her. We went on like a coffee date. She took me to like mad dope coffee spots in Toronto. We did like like 3 or 4 espresso trips within like an hour. And I'm not gonna say I got addicted, but I did come home and buy a Nespresso, which is like my favorite thing in the entire world right now. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that, and I cannot
Damn, Nespresso gotta cut me that check, 'cause
look.
a lot
Listen
of my friends bought Nespressos.
now. Listen, like what an amazing segue that was into what you do. So like I told you guys before I called her, and if I had some words to describe her, and if the world had words to describe her, it would be creative consultant, stylist. She's very stylish. Writer, digital creator. So, as a creative consultant, you are a creative consultant. Exactly what does that entail?
So I specialize in art direction, brand strategy, writing, and I'm dipping into styling now because in the last 2 years I've done some styling pieces with Jordan Brand, and I've done it in like other photo shoots that I've been, but like not officially labeled as that. And yeah, I've just been doing a lot more of that, and it started all really with myself, which I don't have like formal stylist training, but it's like a fun new adventure that I'm trying.
So when you actually spoke about that, and I know we joked about, like, I was like, yeah, you should style me. I always looked at you as there's no, like, there would be no problem with you being a stylist, because I always look, every stylist that I see in some form of another, they're very fly. And every time I see you, you're very fly. So what made you want to, delve not only, with on the side of creating consulting, into being a stylist? Like, where did that come from? Was that like people like me telling you, like, yo, you're fly, you should like make other people fly?
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy because I feel like imposter syndrome all the time. So I think a lot of creatives go through this, and some more than others, where one, I feel kind of nervous because there are a lot of really talented stylists out there that put in a lot of work to get to where they are. And, everybody has a different path, and mine kind of just came naturally, where my personal style opened up opportunities for me to dive into that more. So I kind of got thrown into that because Jordan, I think the biggest thing that I did was a piece in 2018 with Jordan Brand, where they wanted me to style on myself the Jordan 11
Hold
Concord.
up. They wanted you to style on yourself. So that means get dressed.
Well, yeah. So they wanted me to do like an edit. They wanted me to do like an editorial in that shoe with like, I think like 4 or 5 different looks, so that it's like not an easy shoe to style, right, or to wear
Right.
like fashionably. So especially for women, so they wanted me to do a piece around that, and they liked it so much that a few months later they needed to style one of their Nike athletes, former U.S. Open winner, champion Sloane Stephens.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they loved that piece so much that when they had to style Sloane, they called on me to do it because for whatever, they really liked what I did last time. So from there, Sloane was like, girl, do you want to, like, could you be my stylist? And I was like, I'm not really a stylist. Like, I styled this shoot and other shoots, but I've never really, like, considered myself one.
Oh, that's amazing. So with
Jordan,
Brand, is that your exclusive partner? So I don't really know. I'm ignorant to the whole creative consulting world, and you can help me out. Are you exclusive with Jordan Brand, or can you creative consult with other companies while you're doing the styling or whatever you're doing with Jordan Brand? How does that work?
So I try to keep my worlds separate, and I think soon it's going to have to collide. So like when I'm creative consulting, I try to stick with like startup brands to help them figure out and develop like their brand strategy, their voice, or art, like any kind of thing like that. And then the stuff I do with Jordan Brand is just per project. I don't have like a contract with them. I can work with other brands. I can wear other brands. I just like don't really like other brands as much as I like, or like I don't have as much experience with other brands. Like at the end of the day, Jordan is my favorite brand. But like sometimes I wear New Balance, sometimes I wear Converse, sometimes I wear Reebok. Like not as much, obviously, but yeah.
So as you're working right now, creative consulting, can you talk about any of the brands that you're currently working with or helping out or doing anything with on not the styling but the creative consulting wise?
Yeah, right now I'm working with a boutique Pilates gym that I really like. I literally just signed the contract today.
Oh,
but
nice.
I'm helping them with their social media and their online presence. I have like other projects in the works that I can't talk about yet.
Right.
But they're sneaker related.
Understood.
Yeah.
Now, when you're doing the social media, do you just take it over? Do you say, "Give me the password, I'll post for you," or is there someone you're telling you should post like this? You should make your layout look like this. These are the color schemes you should go with, or are you doing that all yourself? Are you taking on like I said, the password and just doing that yourself?
Yeah, it depends on the scale. So this one I'm doing myself. I think like if I build a bigger repertoire of clients, then I'll have to like add a team. I had a team last year, but I took the last quarter of the year off to really like recalibrate, figure out my direction, and I started 2020 literally fresh.
How are you feeling now?
Oh, I feel good. I was meditating. I was taking care of myself. I started running again finally.
Finally, yes,
Finally,
finally. Oh, how
I've
did
been injured.
how did I not tell that story? So, well, that is amazing. Yeah, how did we totally forget about that? So, all right, so me and Anna, we met in the club, and then I don't even know how this came about, but I
We
started my
became running buddies.
yeah, but like I started my run club, and then I told Anna like, yo, it was Caravana. I was like, yo, I want to do a run. Did I tell you what happened? I don't even remember what happened. Did you just
Yeah,
show
you.
up? Did you?
No, you told me. I
Oh,
had no
okay.
choice.
Oh yeah, I told you I'm doing a run up there. We're gonna start run with the Winners Toronto. We're gonna do a big run up there with Beats by Dre and Nike and all of this, and I want you to come out. So Anna came out and she ran. A bunch of other people came out, and after the run, it was so successful that I don't know what is it called, the Toronto Tribune. What was it?
Well,
What's the name
okay,
of
so
your
at the
newspaper?
time, well, okay, you're like leaving so many details out of the story. Because at the time I was writing for Complex and Soul Collector. Like, yeah, I was writing for them, and
Shout out to Soul Collector,
it
my
was,
guys.
yeah, so it was like your first year doing that Run with the Winners Toronto Caravana run, and you brought in some really fucking special guests. Sorry, can I curse? Sorry. You brought in some special guests. Can we name them? Is that cool?
You could curse. I mean, I had to put edit on Apple Music and Spotify and title anything when I load this up. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm probably not gonna curse, but you could curse.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Okay, so you brought in some special guests: LeBron James, Rich Paul, Tristan Thompson. I
Who else?
forgot who
We
else.
had Eric Bledsoe. Um,
No, Eric Bledsoe wasn't there.
EB was there.
No way. I wouldn't have left him out of the story.
EB was
Point
definitely.
is, point is, we like did this run with like arguably the biggest basketball player in the entire world, and it was in the midst of him being like in the spotlight of his new physique. He gearing up for the new season, and I posted with your permission, obviously. Like we took photos. I posted just ran with LeBron James. My editor asked me to write about it. And then it went viral. And then, yeah, the Toronto Star, the local
What's it called? The
newspaper,
Star.
put us,
Yeah.
yeah, they put us on the front page. And then I didn't expect that. And then the next day, like, per your instructions, I went to like every newsstand and bought as many copies of this as I could.
I
And
remember
then
that.
and then you never picked them up.
I got him though. Didn't I get him?
No, you didn't because I threw them in the recycling.
No, I definitely have one here. I saw it not too long ago. I must have picked it up
No.
somehow. Oh my
Oh my
god.
God.
But
That
yeah,
was a
so
trip. And for so long, I was known as the girl who runs with LeBron James. And I was like, I've done it once, but okay, sure. That's what you want to call me.
so Anna, so that's what it. Then we had more runs, and then Anna would run with me. Then I would come up there and run, and then all of a sudden Anna just stopped running, and she hasn't ran in the
I got
past 6 years.
injured.
She hasn't ran in the. You got injured because you were doing stuff that you had no business doing. You think you can play basketball, and you're not that good, and
Oh my God.
you were a better runner than you were a basketball player. I see the videos. I see the you when you post videos of you playing basketball, it's really just highlights. But I saw the unedited footage before.
All right. You're
No, I'm-
coming this weekend, right? I'll book us some court time.
but you're back. But you're meditating. You're back running. You're doing your Zen
I've
stuff.
been reading. Yeah, I've been reading. Like, I'm on my positive energy 2020.
That's great. I'm so happy for you. So, with that being said, you have the new brand you're working with, and of course Jordan brand. Like, would you go out looking for brands, or at this point, do brands come looking for you, or is it both?
it's it's mostly brands coming to me. I haven't quite figured out how to do anything outbound. I think maybe at some point I should get an agent. Um,
I think so.
but yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to like explore other interests right now. I'm taking a writing course,
Nice.
and yeah, when you called me, I was at school.
So writing in the sense of you want to win an Oscar or
Nah, I want to make like blockbusters.
like I mean blockbuster what movies? That's you would win an Oscar.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would.
Mm,
I
no,
mean,
because there are movies that win Oscars, and there are movies that make a lot of money, and there are movies that, yeah, I would
what's the
say there's
last?
like two.
What's the last movie that you
So
saw that you wish you could have wrote since you're into writing now? Well, like, so I would know an example of what you would like to accomplish. Because, side note, we have to talk about this off air, but me and my niece have been talking about getting into that realm of things as well. Like, I've just been watching, like, me and her, we've been watching, like, the Grammys and the SAG Awards and all of this. And I'm like, yo, she's such a creative writer and all of this, and like I have a lot of outlets, but and I like the media and all of that too, but I'm like, yo, this is an amazing lane. So like, what would you the last movie you saw that you say,
which
dang,
I
I wish
wrote.
I could have wrote, or I want to write something of that magnitude, of that blockbuster ish?
So, okay, for some background, like I minored in professional writing, so I've always been I've always been into writing. A lot of where I started comes from writing, and
At
I
university,
actually, yeah. So
because
I actually signed up
y'all
for
call
this
it
course,
university, right?
university, yeah,
Okay, cool.
University of Toronto.
Okay.
Um, so I had actually signed up for this course because I was interested in writing a show, like a Netflix show. And then it ended up being a course about writing for film, which is I learned completely different. So now I'm writing a film just for the class, and we'll see how that like pans out, because at the end of the program you end up with like a final screenplay, and it's
Oh,
crazy
nice.
because I just don't yeah like I feel like I need deadlines and a teacher kind of like going through my work to like help me progress versus me just sitting in a corner and figuring it out myself. And then after that, I don't know, we'll see how that goes, but I was like originally interested in writing a Netflix series, so something along the lines of Insecure.
Right. Okay.
Uh, yeah, and then for my film, it would have been something kind of like The Devil Wears Prada.
Oh, nice.
But
Big shout out to
yeah,
Anne
so
Hathaway. I just watched the Anne
yeah,
Hathaway marathon the other day, and I realized, no, seriously, this is very random. I watched the Anne Hathaway marathon the other day, and I realized she's one of my favorite actors. It was the first one was Bride Wars. The second one was Devil Wears Prada, and then the third one was um,
Princess
uh,
Di-
Princess
Princess Diaries.
Diaries. Princess Diaries. And I was like,
She
yo,
has the
she's
range.
amazing. No, she has range. Like she has amazing range. So you say you're doing the writing. I think I'm mad again because wait, hold on. When did you start this class?
January, a month ago.
Oh, okay, so I'm not too mad because I definitely spoke with you about writing something. This was probably in October, November.
You wanted me to produce a show, which
I'm,
we like didn't finish the conversation, and then you were like, I'll be there, I'll be up in Toronto, we'll finish it when I come back, and then we never did it.
well, I'll be up
So
there this weekend.
yeah, we can still talk about it. We have like a lot of things we want to do. I have a
Yeah,
lot of things I want to do.
yeah. I mean, I think we can. We have, I think we have enough time. I think we could get it done. We know we got a lot of creativity. We know enough people, and I know you're rich now, so we definitely have the funds. We have
Oh my God.
you have the funds to get it done. Now, as far as back to your creative consulting, because I know everything doesn't always work. What happens when it doesn't work? Like, how does it, like, do you feel that falls on you? Do you feel that falls on the brand? How do you go about handling that or dealing with when you're putting forth this effort into a brand and you think it's going well and it just doesn't work?
So, I mean, that happened to me a bunch of times. It happened to me really recently, actually, and I'm the type. I don't know when this happened, but or maybe I'm only realizing it now. But I'm the type of person that takes failure super personal.
Me
So when
too.
something
Like
doesn't,
me too. It's
yeah,
ridiculous.
and like I would never know that about you, but so I keep it to myself often. I kind of, you know, so when something just doesn't go, like I'm not the type of person that like can send out a pitch, like 100 pitches in a week and then be okay with getting like 100 no's back. Like it's just, I
I
don't,
feel you. I feel you.
yeah, like I like to shoot high percentage shots. um, so when something doesn't go my way, like what I've been doing now is just stepping back to reflect what I did wrong, where I went wrong, and then just reminding myself like, okay, this wasn't meant to be. Something new is coming. And usually when stuff like that happens, I already know it wasn't meant to be. It's just my ego takes such a big hit. And like I said, I've been meditating more. I've been reading more.
But why do you necessarily have to think like it wasn't meant to be or you did something wrong? Maybe the brand just sucked or maybe it just wasn't the right thing for the brand.
Exactly.
I don't think you necessarily should be that hard on yourself. Cause I understand what you're saying because I'm harder like myself for a lot of stuff. Like you said, you wouldn't necessarily think that. But like if I feel like I had like a bad set or if I forgot to play a song that night in the club that I really wanted to play and I realize it later or the next day, I am so pissed at myself for like days. It's ridiculous. And I had to step back and say, yo, Steph, it's all right. It's like, it's going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? You did fine. Cry, had a good time. But, I do that with myself. But I don't necessarily think that you should think when it's dealing with brands that it's always you because sometimes like say you're dealing with a poutineery, maybe the cheese has gone bad, maybe their fries are cold or whatever the heck else they put in that crap y'all eat over there, maybe the chili.
Do you know how many poutines I've had in the last like 5 years? Maybe 4.
They're bad. That's a
I
bad
don't.
product.
So yeah, no, I totally, yeah, but I had to talk myself out of that because I don't know when it got so, I just took everything so personal. And what I mean to say is it just like, I remind myself always, what's meant for me will not pass me. So
Okay.
if something doesn't work out with a brand, it's whoever's fault it was, and maybe it's not nobody's fault and it just wasn't a fit. I just remind myself like, okay, that wasn't it, but I still have to step back and evaluate like why it didn't work out the way I wanted to, just so I can take learning points from it.
Yeah, of course. Maybe there was something you did, but maybe there was something that the brand did or did not do, or just that the brand couldn't offer at the time, or maybe it's the market or anything like that. I just don't want you to get down on yourself and, you know what I'm saying, have to, regroup again in the next 3 months. I think just keep pushing forward. All right. You got me?
Aww,
I mean,
appreciate that.
no, it is what it is. So let me ask you a question, and I know how I feel about it, and like just tell me how you feel before I answer. How do you feel about the word influencer?
Okay, I can't. It's so wild that it's turned into such a bad word because at its core, it's like, it's good. It's flattering. It's a level of like, it demonstrates that like you're somebody with taste who has people that are influenced by the things that you say. You're a thought leader. But the industry turned it into such a dirty word, and now I cringe when people call me one.
Well, you know what's
And
crazy?
like,
So I think the reason. All right, I think we're gonna have two different answers for this. So even when it was a clean word, a good word, I just always thought influencer. The word influencer was like, and I don't necessarily think this anymore because there's a whole market and this is a whole thing now. But I always thought like when I first started doing stuff, and I would get, decks or whatever, and they'd be like, Steph, we want you to be, they have me as DJ Steph Floss influencer, boom, boom, boom. And I used to think like that's like very grandiose and egocentric of me to like call myself an influencer, just be like, just because I say I like this or do this or post this, that I just know I'm going to influence other people. And I had a tough time like
Accepting
like
it.
calling myself, an influencer, because I'm like, that's kind of like cocky. It's like, I don't know if I'm influential like that. Like, I mean, maybe I am, but like, I don't want people to be like, he's an influencer. Look at what he's doing. He's like, it's somebody be like, he ain't influencing me. What are y'all talking about? I thought the word influencer would get that backlash. But on the other end, you say it's such a dirty word. Now I totally understand it, and I'm more comfortable with it more now than ever. But you say now it's become, the industry has made it such a dirty word. How?
I battle with it because on the one hand, it's that, right? Like you're a thought leader, someone who's influencing people. And sometimes I'm doubting, like, I don't know how many people I influence. But then at the same time, I'll have days where I'm super confident. I can look at a girl and be like, that girl definitely follows me on Instagram. Like, she's my demographic. And sometimes, like, a lot of the time I'm right. And I don't try to say that in like I'm the most influential. I don't think that, but I have an idea, a very good pulse on what type of girls resonate with the content that I post, and just having more confidence in my taste is like another thing that I've really been challenging, like forcing myself to accept, because there is, at the end of the day, like there's a reason that I get to be in the position that I am, and you get to be in the position that you're in. So
Right.
whatever subject you're in, like there's a reason for that. Like your followers are not there for no reason.
For no reason, right? You're right. You're right about that. Now, so you would consider yourself an influencer?
By definition, yeah. And the thing is, like, I still cringe at the word, and I just accept it or ignore it.
Yeah, I feel you.
I don't encourage people to wake up and aspire to be an influencer, because I think when they say that word, people have different ideas of what that word is, and I think some people are using it to replace the word blogger.
Right. No, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
I met a woman at a event in LA not too long ago. It was a brunch event, and we were talking. We were familiar with each other by face and name. But I've got to a point where, excuse me, I really, even my father, I asked him this the other day. Like I'm asking people like, what do you do? And I'm not being like a weird person by asking what do you. I really want to know what it is that you do for a living, because maybe I can help you out. Maybe you can help me out. And you're here for a reason. I mean, it's very simple and easy to see what DJ Steph Floss does. He DJs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You with your government name, I don't necessarily know what you do. So this young lady's talking, and I'm like, so what exactly do you do for a living? Without hesitation, she says,
influencer.
She said, I'm a full-time influencer. Without
See, like,
hesitation. And I thought what would you say? There you go.
No, you go first.
No. In my mind, I was just like, there's like, you're not gonna say I'm a creative consultant or nothing. It's just straight. I'm 100% an influencer. Like what? But
that's what I mean. And it's people like that, and like no shade to them. It's just when somebody introduces themselves as an influencer, I'm like, sure you are. You know what I mean? Like
it's definitely cringeworthy.
Yeah, that's what makes it a dirty word when people do that, because most of the time almost all the time, the people that I think are influential and are real influencers have earned that title through the work that they do or the presence that they have. So whether you're like a photographer who just has a very engaged following, that person's an influencer. You're whatever. The example can go on forever.
No, I like what you said about that. So during All-Star weekend in Chicago, I went to this Martell dinner. So I'm at the Martell dinner, and I have on the Jordan 1s, and I'm walking around the dinner, and this guy stops me, and he's like, yo, he pointed at my shoes, and I looked. I'm like, oh, we got on the same sneakers. I'm like, yeah, man. I'm like, I love these shoes, man. He was like, man, me too. He like, I haven't taken mine off since November. I was like, man, you sound like me. I'm like, I wear these all the time. I'm like, like I'm not like a dead stock guy. I maybe out of all the shoes I have, I maybe have like 4 pair of shoes dead stock. But I'm like, when I really like a sneaker, I keep wearing it. So, he like me the same way. He dapped me up. We went about our business. During the course of the night, my guy Hustle Simmons comes up to me like, yo, Steph, I want to introduce you to somebody. I'm like, all right, cool. So he takes me over. He was like, man, have you met Blue the Great yet? I'm like, no, I don't think I've met him. So he goes and introduce. It's Blue the Great. I have on his Jordans.
Oh, you're wearing his shoes, yeah.
Yeah, but I thought that was so dope because he didn't make our interaction was so genuine that it was just like he didn't expect me. Maybe he did expect me to know who he was, but he didn't act like that. We were just having a conversation about the shoes, and he never came out and been like, oh yeah, well, I'm Blue the Great. But it made sense when he said, I've been wearing these since November. And I'm like, me too. But then we talked, and I was like, man, I didn't know. He was like, yeah. Then I introduced myself. He told me he was familiar with me. He was like, Jerome was his guy, so he was familiar with all of us and all of this. And I was like, oh, that's dope, man. But he was like, no, that was just very, real and natural, the interaction we had, and he appreciated it. I was like, oh, that's dope. But that's influential because, seriously, he's an amazing artist. The shoes are dope, and I probably wear those shoes more than I wear any other sneakers right now. So I feel exactly what you're saying. But, I mean, to play devil's advocate, there are some people that are 110% full-time influencers.
I mean, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, I think all of us. Well, no, but seriously,
is there a better word? Is there a better word?
There isn't, because at the end of the day, it's based you can already picture what they're doing when they call themselves a full-time influencer. So there's not really a point in redefining it. It's just annoying, unless there were categories. I don't know. I don't fight the word anymore.
Don't fight it. Just live through it. Don't fight it. Just live through it. You also know what you need to do. You need to get the Sneakers app, because I saw you on the Sneakers app today, and I think it's ridiculous that you say you don't have the Sneakers app. How are you on the Sneakers app and you don't have it? And it's such an easy app to download. Even if you don't use it, why don't you have it? And why are you on it?
It's not available in Canada.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Wait, why is that?
I know, and it's so funny because they took my photo, and I wasn't really paying attention to what it was. I signed the waivers and stuff, and then.
Did you even read them?
No, I did, but I was like, oh, okay, cool, sneakers, and I didn't know, I knew what it was, I just didn't know what was going to happen. And then today, someone tagged me, and then the other people started tagging me. It was really fun to see my followers engage with that.
I mean, you did ask. It was dope to see that, but you did ask a couple days ago. I did see you ask.
I asked this morning. I was like, yo, I don't have the app. Send me screenshots. Because it's funny because, people have been doing that, have done that in the past, and we all had fun with it. And it's, another way for me to, engage with the people that, follow me or that I follow.
Like that.
So, yeah, it's just a fun little thing we do. I feel I probably spammed everyone's timeline today, but I'm not sorry.
That's that influencer in you, Influencer. Yeah. Influencer. I'm gonna keep calling you that influencer. So how are you not having a sneaker app up there? I know I deal with a lot of we all deal with, apps and reselling and all of this stuff right now with sneakers. How do you feel about the state of getting sneakers? I won't even say the sneaker game right now, because I like where sneakers are heading. I like where they're at and where they're heading. You may feel different, but I like the different brands and the designers that they're commissioning. Like my guy Joe Fresh Goods, he had an amazing outing in Chicago with New Balance. He did a great job. All the guys at Fat Tiger Works, they did a great job with Adidas. My guy Fashion Geek Zoe did a great job with Puma. And we'll talk about the game later, but as far as apps and that portion of it, reselling. How do you feel about that?
I feel like reselling is just a part of the game. I had a conversation today about this. It's always people complaining that they can't get shoes, right?
Right.
And the way I see it is, if you're really about that life, like no, I'm serious. Like, you will like put in the effort to get the shoes. And like, I know it looks like I get everything I want, which is not the case. I am fortunate.
You definitely do.
I'm fortunate enough to get a lot of sneakers for free, but like, I still sign up for raffles. I still like
You
have
don't
to
even
go
have
buy
the
my own
sneakers app.
shoes.
You don't even have
I
the
don't even
sneakers
have the
app.
sneakers. I still pay resell. Like, I buy sneakers on StockX. Like, it's just like, if you're not willing to do the work to get a shoe or spend the money, then like, you're not really trying your best to get it, you know? So
What if you're just into shoes? What if you just like shoes, you like to get fly, but you're not like 15 anymore. You don't even know when the shoes come out. You don't have you're not getting alerts, and you're like, well, I like them, but now I just found out they came out 5 minutes ago. Now they're sold out. Now what do I do?
then you gotta pay the price. Like, I gotta do it too. And like, I've been into sneakers since like '03, like before high school, and like, it's something that I had to learn. Like, okay, if I don't get it when it comes out, then I gotta pay resale. And if I don't want to pay resale, then I have to have a strategy beforehand. Like, it gets kind of nerdy, but I have group chats about it. And if I don't feel like putting that kind of effort in, then I don't complain that I couldn't get it. That's
Are you
it.
you
End
have
of
bots
story.
over there? You got bots over there?
No, I don't
Don't
use
tell me.
bots.
Don't tell me you got bots over there. I didn't even know what the bots thing was until like the other day. Somebody told me like, yeah, you could buy a bot for like $350. I said, what? That's what the kids are doing? I'm like, that is ridiculous. Sometimes I just want to go out and buy the shoes off the shelf. It's over for that.
No.
Because you know what it is.
That's life.
My thing is, I'm blessed like you to where I've been blessed to be able to get many of the things that I like. But a lot of times I hate making those calls or those texts. I hate because it's like why I'm hitting you up. I don't want this to just be solely our relationship. But hold up. I think you just hung up on. Hold on, let me call Anna back. Uh-oh, hold on.
Hi.
You know what? I think my Skype. By the way, I'm not even editing none of this out. I think I 1000%. I'm not going to edit any of this out. I think my Skype. I think I had to pay the bill. I literally just had to pay the bill. I don't know what just happened. I don't know what just happened. And I was in the midst of talking something really good. And what were we talking about? Why'd they just cut my phone off?
You don't like making the call.
They just
Wait,
basically.
why do you have to pay for Skype?
Skype is free up there?
I don't know. I haven't used Skype in a long time.
Me neither. But when I was like figuring out how to talk to my friends on the podcast, I think this was This was the easiest and quickest and safest option. Maybe I'll look at something different tomorrow, where in case I don't pay the bill, it won't cut off for me. It literally just cut off. I'm like, she should have gave me like the jail thing, like you got 2 more minutes left on this call or something.
Oh,
but anyway, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway,
before you continue, I have to say, like, I've witnessed so many of your technological like fails, and I've seen a lot, and it's so funny because like that's where like your age shows.
Oh,
Like,
get out of here.
this old ass man. Oh my god! Remember that time you like had to use my phone because your phone wasn't working? Like, how many times have we been through that?
No, man, come on. You gonna do me like that?
I eventually I'm gonna ask you how your TikTok
Oh man. Oh my God.
is going.
I downloaded TikTok. I saw you said your friends that's 25 and older, please stay off of TikTok.
No, I didn't say stay off of TikTok. I said don't make a renegade video.
Oh, don't make a renegade video. By the way, the renegade dance is impossible to do if you're over 20 years old.
Exactly. And you know
No, for
what's
sure.
funny?
Because it's
When
not a
you
dance. It's not a dance. It's a full routine. Like dances they have moves and then they start over from the top. The renegade dance it never starts over. It's just continuous. The girl is just she's amazing, but she's just going and going and going, and it never stops. It's the never-ending dance. How am I supposed? I'm too old to be doing that.
I can't we can't even move that fast. And the
That's
joke is that girl makes it look completely different
oh
from
my
what
God. Oh
everyone
yes.
else posts.
No,
I
it
won't
does.
go there, but
No, it does. Like my homie said, you know it really looks like a phantom until a phantom pulls up. That's exactly what it was. Like the dance looked cool until she pulled up and do it, and I was like, oh no, that's how it really should look. She was on Ellen today, going
yeah, I
crazy.
saw.
I was in front of
And
my
like,
TV trying to do it. I almost pulled something.
nah, nothing was repeating.
Nothing.
It's like what? It's
What
one
is
full
this?
routine.
What is
Mm-mm.
this? What
Like,
is this?
okay, think about when we had to learn dances, like when
Soldier
we were
Boy.
older, like Soldier Boy, exactly.
Soldier
Like
Boy.
that was like 5 steps,
Right.
maybe
5 steps,
maybe 10,
and
and
then
then you
back to the
Superman
top.
that hoe, yeah,
And
and then
then
you
and then
start
you
over.
go and then you start over with the feet. Boom, boom, boom. It is like the young jock is going down. Those are
Yeah,
dances.
or like
This
the lean with it,
rock with it. Like
lean with it, yeah.
this
Ugh,
is Beyonce choreography. How
nah.
can I'm too oh I can't do this. And then somebody said, well maybe you could do the Out West challenge. And I just say, you know what? By the
That's
way,
like 4 steps.
but what is TikTok? Is TikTok a dance app? Like, do I have to dance on there?
No, you
I,
don't.
yeah, but oh man, like, what is I
That
don't,
so that is my PSA. Like, you don't need to dance on TikTok. You can make videos on TikTok and not be dancing.
all right,
That's
all
all
right.
I'm saying.
So that's what I'm gonna do. I gotta find me a TikTok wave. You gotta help me. Maybe I do my coffee, my lattes.
There you
That'd
go.
be
Or you could, yeah, you could do DJ stuff on there.
all right. But isn't it copyrighted with music? Oh no, because they let you dance on there with music, and we'll figure out something. But I thought you had to dance on there, and I ain't got the dance moves no more. So I was like, well, I don't even know. I thought it was like a dance Instagram. I don't know, but it is what it is. But back to me not wanting to make those calls. That's where we left off at. I always don't want to make those calls to get sneakers, but then you have to because it's like if I don't make the calls, I'm not going to get the sneakers because I don't have time to be finding them and then I'm cheap. I don't want to pay the resale. I'm not paying like
You
it's so
rich though.
stop it. But look, like I wear my Travis Scott ones all the time, right? It's to the point where like this guy almost got in a fight with this drunk Cleveland Browns fan outside the game because I had him on. And he was like talking, crazy to his friend under his breath. He's like, yeah, that guy, I seen him with the fake shoes on. He thought they were fake because I was wearing them. I'm like, is this what it's come down to? If people wear their
Nah.
shoes, now they're fake.
Ew, I don't know anyone like that.
Oh, well, that's a different breed at a Cleveland Browns football game.
Yeah,
that's a
maybe.
real- that's a-
Toronto is so hype beast that everyone wears theirs.
I was actually going to ask you about Toronto fashion. Like, is it a yay or a nay? Do you like Toronto's fashion? Like, how do you see it?
It's not that original. We definitely have a uniform, and like sometimes I'm guilty. But like, let's say a new shoe releases, everyone's wearing that shoe. Like
Isn't
for the
that probably
weekend.
isn't that probably like the world now though?
I mean, like you see a lot more diversity in a place like New York.
Hold on, what are you doing over? Why are you making so much noise over there? What are you like?
I'm making noise?
Yeah, are you doing like a skincare routine or something? What are you doing?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. But you guys, yeah, I look at you guys as like a cleaner in New York. So why isn't the fashion? Why doesn't it translate?
Because it's like not as experimental. I think it's starting to move that way, but like a lot of people who lead the way in that space leave. Right?
You said
Everyone goes to New York and LA. Like all our top talent usually gets lured into New York and LA. And I feel
okay.
like that's the way with almost any city.
So why don't you just take it over and show everybody in the city how to dress and how to do it and how to be
Because
experimental?
I'm like more conservative. Like I've never seen myself as like a fashion, like, I don't know, person. I just dress a certain way, and I dress as what's comfortable for me and what I like, and
Do
yeah,
you
I leave
own?
it
Do
at
you
that.
own? Do you own any heels or sandals or? I've never seen
Yes,
you. I think we've had dinners, like nice dinners, and I still have never seen you like in any like. I've never seen you in a dress actually. Now that I think about it, it's been 10 years, 8 years. I mean, it is what it
that
is.
that is a big fat lie.
I've
I
never seen you in heels or a dress. I'm
I
not saying
I,
that there's anything wrong with it, but
I actually like heels. It's just it depends on where I'm going and like
you
how
never.
cool I want to look.
Are you gonna?
I don't love dresses. Like I, for the most part, hate dresses.
Well, speaking of dresses and heels, are you coming to party with me Saturday for my birthday? You have. I mean, you kind of have to, right?
Do I have to wear heels in a dress?
No, you don't. You don't.
um,
Remember, last
okay.
year was a snowstorm. I don't think it's going to be a snowstorm this year, so we're all good.
Oh yeah, last year it came.
Yeah, it was a
Uh,
snow.
I
It,
mean, I don't know what else I'd be doing at that hour, sleeping. But I have a long run on Sunday morning. Would you really want to compromise my
yes, I do it.
performance?
I do it every Saturday morning. I go out. I do what I need to do on Friday night. I wake up early and we run. We do our long runs, our short runs. It is
Okay,
what
I'll
it is.
come with you. I'll come Saturday night if if you come run with me at 9 a.m. on Sunday morning.
Well, the thing about that is, I have a 6 a.m. flight to Miami.
Oh,
I owe you an early run.
I
I
see
owe
the
you.
excuses.
No, there's no excuses. No, there's no excuses. Now, anyway, back to your sneakers and the state of. We talked about Toronto, and you being a woman that I feel like should be in the forefront of maybe the fashion scene, since you're saying everybody else that could do it has left. I think she should just take on that responsibility, as many other women that I see not have done, but are doing. Like, how do you feel about the state of women and sneakers right now? Because for a long time, there were always complaints of like brands only messing with guys, and it was like women weren't properly represented and things like that. And now, when I see sneakers, honestly, the first thing I think about are women, like with the Alayli Mays and Melody. How do you pronounce her last name? Ansani,
Dasani, I think, yeah.
Asani, and even women that work in within the companies, within the brands, like my girl Samantha Baker over there, Jordan Brand. Shout out to her, and Brittany, who used to work at Nike. Like, how do you feel? Do you feel it's the same as it once was, or do you feel that there has been a big transition?
How do you ask this? Because I'm literally writing an article about it. But
Oh, I'm so
um,
good. I'm so good.
uh, it's it's definitely a good time to be a woman in sneakers right now because it's unfortunate for the women who paved the way in the early like
Oh,
2000s.
and big shout out to Vashti. Big shout out
Yeah,
to Vashti. I want to definitely say big shout out to my girl Vashti. She actually hosted one of my first birthday parties I did out here in Cleveland. But like, she's one of the first influential sneaker people that we all grew to know and love. So big shout out to her. But yeah, back to what you're saying.
yeah, she's super dope. She's the first woman to design her own Jordan. So also, if anyone has a link on that pair, let me know. But
What size do you
yeah,
wear?
5.
I know somebody that 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 might have a
Oh,
5 or 5.5.
okay, we'll talk.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, this is like the best time to be a woman in sneakers because brands are finally starting to pay attention. Brands are finally putting energy into the women's space. And if not for that, like I would never have the opportunities that I get to be in today. Laylee May, like she's amazing. And she's really paved the way for women too, like in style and in sneakers. And um, it's so like there's so many opportunities for women, and whether you're an artist, you're like any form of creative, like you have an opportunity within reach to have your own sneaker collab, and or like have a partnership with a brand. And we never had that opportunity in 2005. Like the opportunities to work in sneakers or be involved in sneakers pretty much relied on being an athlete, working at a brand, or being some kind of like footwear designer.
Right, right,
So
right.
there are just so many more opportunities now. Like it tethers into sport. It's like working in media, like being on air. I guess all those kind of overlap. But women are on trend right now, and if you're not maximizing on that, you're missing a big opportunity.
No, it's like it's the super wave, and I love it. Now, a question I really do have, and I haven't seen them, and I don't know everything, but you definitely do about this. So, Vashti, Jordan, was it Jordan 2 was her
Hmm.
sneaker. Laylee May. Then we have Melody. They're all Jordans. Are there any women that are designing for other brands like Puma or Reebok or that I don't? I mean, I don't know. Period. But are there any ones that you could think of that are doing collabs or design? Well, collabs because I know they're probably designers. But are there
Oh yeah,
any like dope collabs that women have done for like Reebok or any Converse or any of these other sneaker brands?
yeah. And Yoon Ambush she did a Nike collab, but she also did a Converse collab most recently. Like I think it was sometime in the fall, and it was a really amazing, like one of my favorites of 2019. It was a
Okay.
really beautiful like Chuck 70 silhouette. And she's Asian, so shout out to them. Uh, shout out to the Asian girls.
Oh my
Um,
God. You said
I
it,
had
not me.
to. I had to.
I wanted to say something earlier, but I was like, I don't know. I can't really say anything until you mention it, but I wanted to shout out to Asian girls.
I'm not like, I hate to say this, like I'm not as like well versed with other
Other
brands. Like
brands.
yeah, like my pulse is mostly on like Nikes because I gravitate to what I wear, right?
Right, right, right.
But didn't your friend Sue do a
Oh
Puma
yeah,
collab?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
There
yeah,
you go. That
Sue
was
with the
cool
Puma.
too.
Oh yeah, no, that was amazing. Big shout out to Sue with her Puma collab, like 2 seasons, and was selling out everywhere. We went out to London and saw her stuff all the way out of London. Then went to Japan and saw her stuff in Japan. So that was super. That was super dope to see
Yeah.
Sue in that environment. Another one of my another one of my Asian best friends. I
Okay,
don't.
so I have to tell a story of when I called you on the phone, or you called me. No, I called you on FaceTime, and you picked up the phone, and there were three other women on the
on the
FaceTime
on the
call,
FaceTime.
and
It
you were
it
like, "I have to tell you about this car accident I just drove by," and I was like, "Wait, I drove by that accident too."
it was crazy. As soon as one of the
But
no,
she was one of the people on the phone, and everyone was like, "What is happening right
it,
now?"
but you know what? You know who I'm like? I don't know if you know him, like Johnny Nunez in New York. He's a connector. I'm a connector. Like all the dope women, you know what I'm saying, that I see doing like these creative things. I think that if you don't know each other, y'all should definitely know each other. That y'all should definitely do things, and especially if y'all are part of my life like that, might as well. But yeah, shout out to I don't know why like I have so many Asian creative friends, but it is what it is. So is your goal not ultimately, but you want to design a Jordan 1 or a Jordan 11 or Jordan
4.
4? You want to do
Yeah.
a 4?
Yeah, that's my goal.
The 4
That's
out
my
of all
dream.
of.
That's my dream
Do you already have the design ready and to go?
in my head.
Yes.
Like 80%. Yeah. I think about it.
I think it's gonna happen this year. I could see it happening this year, and then you could wear it. Then you could wear it to the Oscars when when you win your Oscar for that.
I feel like you know what I think about? I feel like I have to make a movie first and then that will come. Is that weird? That's
Do
the
it.
trajectory that I paint. That is the picture that I paint.
I'm not mad at it. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not mad at it. Well, now we talked about Jordans, we talked about Converse, Nike, Reeboks, Puma. I saw something, and you made a comment, and I think I commented on this tweet not too long ago as well. People, and we're going back to the word influencers. People have different things to say about when influencers go from one brand to another brand, like, or if someone's like, say I'm a runner and I'm doing a running and I'm influential in the running game, and then I'm also doing tequila. You know what I'm saying? I remember there was some talk like, how can you do this and do that too? And I remember you spoke up on it. Like, what are you talking about? So like,
I got shit to say.
yeah, like elaborate on that for me.
It's really funny because like I don't like to get into it on Twitter with people because most of the time I don't have time to sit down and think of a response, but sometimes I have time. And
Right.
that day I did because this is something I'm pretty passionate about because
Right.
when people are judging, well, again, for lack of a better word, we'll say influencers. When people are judging influencers for bouncing from brand to brand, whether they're getting paid or not, like, it's not our business. Like, nobody
Right.
only
Right.
wears one brand except for the people who are paid to.
Paid
And
hundreds of millions of dollars to wear the one brand.
right, right. And like, mind you, I mostly wear one brand, but I have the freedom to throw in other brands whenever I feel like it. And for someone to criticize an influencer for taking a bag that they thought was fair for them to wear another brand, like, that's none of your business.
Right.
So if Kylie Jenner wants to wear Nike one day, Yeezy the next day, and she's getting bags for that, like,
Let her wear them.
let her do it.
Because
And
guess
like,
what? You're doing it too.
I guarantee you all of these people would do the same. And like, everyone has a different dollar value for what they would post for. And like,
Right.
and people have like a different threshold for like what they believe in. And like, some people will post things just for money and not care about what they're posting.
Right.
And some
Right.
people, I'll be like a lot more selective in what I'll do. Yeah, like, it's not your business. Like, why are you counting my pockets? It's
Right.
the exact same thing as like like, very similar to an athlete going to another team to get more money, or a person leaving a job to get more money at another job.
At a different job. Yeah, and people are, like, I see that, I'm like, what difference does it make? Like, I mean, mine is like not as extreme as that. It's people making jokes, but they're like, Steph, how can you talk about running and this and that, and then tequila? I'm like, well, these are two things that I really do. Like, if you really,
Exactly.
if you've really been out with me, you'll see we're partying hard on Friday night. There's going to be a lot of tequila involved, a lot of Avion tequila involved. And then what I'm going to do Saturday morning, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to run. And it is what it is. So it's like, let people live their lives. And if there is a bag involved, let them get their bag how they get their bag. It doesn't concern you. Like, what you eat don't make me, ish. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I
like, I don't see a correlation between being a runner and then drinking tequila. Like, neither of those have a relation. Plenty of runners drink, and plenty of people who drink don't run. Plenty of people who don't run also don't drink. So
right.
it doesn't
So
matter.
right.
Yeah, it's
Now,
very silly.
but I never really see you get into like spats or anything like that on Twitter. But I remember seeing that, and I was like, yeah, I feel her. Like, leave people alone and let them, generate their bag how they generate. You know, it's things that you won't do that. You know what I'm saying? And that things that you will do. Like there's things I won't do and things I will do. But you know what? One thing I've realized is like there's sometimes there are food brands and food companies that I just will never touch. Period. And like that have got me sick and like food poison and that I hate to this day. But I have never mentioned those companies in a bad light on anything social. Like I have never, as much like I'll see people talking and I'm like, oh, I want to chime in on that, but that's just not my style, you know, for whatever reason. And I don't even think like said company could offer me a bag to like eat it because it's just like it would really be going against everything that you know what I'm saying, that I go for. But, you know, some other people are different, so, you know, it is what it is. But for you, no more arguing on Twitter, okay?
No, I can't promise that.
Now,
oh my God, I get into internet arguments all the time. It's kind of funny. But like to that point, like people reach out to me all the time and I won't even ask. They'll tell me like a number. Oh, they'll tell me like it's paid. I won't even ask for the number
right.
if I know it's not a brand I care to work with.
Yeah, it's like I can't do this. And you know what? I mean, I don't know if you're like this, but when it comes to working with brands, I want to be as believable as possible.
Exactly.
Like, I want people to be like to the point where it's now like with me, with you know, with Avion Tequila, people will see me out wherever throughout the world and like make jokes about Avion. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, that's really what I drink. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, that's so. You know, that's. If you were to come with me with something that I really don't do, it would be much harder for me to like if a poutine company came to me and was like, yo, Steph, I'm like, yo, I'll be like eating like fake God. Eating it. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, shout out to Toronto. I love everything about Toronto except for the poutine.
Poutine isn't a Toronto thing. That's like more Montreal. Montreal
it's
owns
Canada.
That.
It's Canada, though. It's Canada.
Whatever.
It's Canada.
No, like there are brands that I love and I use every day. For example, not right now, but I go through phases where like I drink so much Red Bull. I really love Red Bull. I've definitely cut back. I know.
You're addicted. That's addiction.
I don't do paid posts with them just because it just doesn't fit what I talk about.
Right.
I'm very selective with that, and like back in November, I got into it with some followers. Not really, but like people were criticizing me because I did a Reebok thing at Complex Con.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and like I know it was surprising for people to see me wearing Reebok because I don't have like a deep history with the brand, and I'm very associated with swoosh. And the thing about that is. And this is at the point where I didn't care what people thought anymore because they don't know the conversations that I had with Nike before I agreed to that, and they don't know the conversations I had with Reebok before I agreed to that, right? So, like, nobody knows the underlying things that are happening, and they're making all these judgments. And at the end of the day, like, that's my money, not yours.
Very, very true.
Are you paying my rent? Are you paying my bills? I didn't think so.
You're making so much money because it's so expensive. I've seen your building. I've been in your building. You got a basketball court in your building. You got a gym in your building. You got an Olympic-sized pool. The garage is amazing. By the way, this is how good of friends me and Anna are, ladies and gentlemen. Anytime I drive to Toronto, I don't pay for my parking. I take my car to Anna's house and just let her park my car. And I don't even think she can drive, but I think she takes my car on like joy rides every now and again.
Why don't you think I can drive?
Do you have a license?
Yes. I'm from Saga.
I've never seen you drive.
Because I don't have a car. I have a bicycle.
Do you remember the first day you got that bicycle?
Absolutely. I biked all the way up to Bloor to have lunch with you. And then you wanted to go on an adventure, so I had to leave my bike there for the entire day. And I was so scared the whole time because I thought I was going to get stolen.
And I'm like, nobody's gonna steal this like blue bike with this pink seat. I'm like, gonna. There's nobody in the world gonna steal this bike. You were so nervous the
Nah, my
whole
bike
day.
was cool. It was like a matte black and it had pink tires. I'm very proud of that bike.
We got back to the bike and nobody stole it. Now,
And then Neil
Jordan,
broke it. No,
no,
you
he
broke
did.
it.
No, I didn't. No,
One of you broke it.
Well, I think I kind of broke. I broke like the horn. I didn't break a seat or anything. It was the horn. And then Mill did something to it when we
Okay,
were.
you both
riding.
broke it.
It was a raggedy bike. That's all it was. It had nothing. You bought that cheap bike. You know, you get money now. Go ahead and buy you a little better bike. Yo, before we get up out of here, I want to ask you, outside of sneakers, because I don't want to put you on the spot about, sneaker brands, but because you're doing styling work right now, and, I love help and I need help all the time. What's your favorite, like, what, if you had one favorite brand, not sneaker right now, what would it be clothing-wise?
My clothing brand right now is Jacquemus.
How do you spell that? I'm actually typing it right now.
Jacquemus.
Oh, second word is M-U-S? Or is
It's
it all
one word. Yeah.
Jacquemus. Okay.
Jacquemus. Yeah, so they've been like huge the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 years now. And it's like very much my style, like a lot of suits, a lot of like oversized, like monochromatic with like pops of color.
I saw that I was over in Paris for Fashion Week this year, and it was so much oversized and like straight leg pants. I don't think you know what, I did come back and I did get a good look off with some straight leg, but I don't think I could get that off like regularly. Is that where fashion is right now?
I'm gonna need to see that. I'm gonna need to.
You want to see my straight leg look?
Yes, absolutely.
You don't believe I can do it?
I do. I just want to see it.
I'm gonna bring a straight leg look up to Toronto this weekend.
And then I want to print it and put on my fridge.
I did the straight leg. What sneakers did I wear with? I think I wore the blue to greats. I got it off. I had like nice khaki colors, straight leg, like Dickie type of, man. It was a good look.
No, I could see it.
No, it was a
I
good
see the
look.
vision.
You see the vision. So that's what that brand is. Is it unisex? Is it just a women's brand or?
I think it's a women's brand. But that's my favorite right now. And they make like, I don't know if you've ever seen those like little tiny purses.
Yes.
The ones that are like as big as a keychain. And then they have like a lipstick harness where it's literally like a harness that goes across your chest and it just holds a singular to a lipstick.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people like on red carpets with those these days.
Yeah. Fire. If I could make a brand, I would love to make a brand, but it would be like a balance of that and like sportier.
What would the name? You already have a name for it? I know you do.
No, that's what's holding me back. I have no idea.
That's what's holding you back is just the name.
Yeah.
You could come up with a name. Just stay up tonight and think about it. Get some lattes in your system. You got the Nespresso, right?
Yes.
There's no reason why neither of us have a deal with Nespresso yet, by the way. We have to work on that this weekend.
Okay, we'll figure it out. We'll sit down. We'll produce a show. We'll write a movie. We'll create the clothing brand, and then we'll get our Nespresso sponsorship.
We'll do all of that this weekend. I've sold myself probably at least 3 to 4 Nespresso machines throughout the country, just from looking on my IG.
There you go.
So if somebody from Nespresso is tuned in right now, y'all know y'all need to come holler at us. So guess what? This, by the way, I only expected to have you on the phone for like 45 minutes. I think we're going at maybe an hour and a half right now, and I have to get off this phone because I have to go pack because my birthday tour starts tomorrow in Washington, D.C., and then I'll see you on Saturday, and I can't wait. Maybe we'll have maybe we can finally get my $800 dinner. $800. Was it $800 a plate?
It was $500.
Oh,
if you could swing that 3 seats for us, let me know.
That's $1,500. I love it. I love it. What are you about to
You're
do? You
rich.
done?
It's okay.
Oh God, I'm rich in spirit. I'm rich in spirit. God is good. God is good. What are you? Are you done for the night? You going to sleep, or you about to? What are you doing?
I gotta finish some work, and then I'm hopefully gonna wake up in the morning to run, but I don't know. We'll see.
Will you drink an espresso before you run, or do you do that afterwards?
I haven't been drinking coffee.
Oh God, you backed out on me. Pause.
I take breaks because I get really, I like my sleeping patterns get kind of messed up.
See, you're addicted. I'm not addicted. I'm just doing it for
Yeah,
the
you're
social.
addicted.
No, I'm just doing it for the social aspect of it. So when people be like, "Let's go get a coffee," I'll be like, "Okay, I'll go with you." Before I would be just like, "No, I'm not going." But now,
Nah, like I have.
I'm making money
Your
over coffee now.
whoever like your listeners need to know that the very first time you tried coffee, we went to 3 different coffee shops and had one at each shop in like the span of 2 hours.
It was
That was
crazy.
so much coffee. Like you must I don't remember like if you told me what happened to you that night.
Oh yeah, I did. I did. It was a long night. We'll talk about the rest of my life after. No, I remember that night. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep.
Of course not.
All right, we got to get off this phone. Plus, I don't know if Skype is going to come cut my phone service off again. By the way, like I said before, I'm not editing this. This is going straight. I'm just going to leave that blank space where I had to call you back and everything. So, all right. I don't. Did you just put me on speakerphone? Because it sounds crazy now.
No.
Okay. Well, I'm about to let you go. All right. I'll talk to you later. Thank you for being my 4th guest on this podcast. And how do I pronounce your last name again? Bediones. 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 Everybody, this is my best friend in the whole wide world. A to the BED. Make sure you look at her, follow her on everything social at A to the BED. Did you? Is it that everywhere?
Yeah, it's A to the bed.
Are you saying they're not going to figure out what BED is?
Yeah, but I don't pronounce it like that. So many syllables.
So when you made it, it was meant to be A to the bed.
Yeah.
That's kind of whack. That's
No,
kind of
it's
whack.
not. I made it
No,
up
it's
when
kind of back.
I made it up when I was in like elementary school or early high school.
A to the BED is much flyer. It's much doper.
Okay.
So from now on, starting in 2020, it's A to the BED.
No, it's not. But thank you.
All right, I love you. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, see you Saturday. Bye.
All right, bye.